Hi, this is Paramdeep from Pristine, and in this video, I'll tell you more about the Financial Modeling School. Financial Modeling School is a joint effort by Pristine and Chandu.org to make you awesome in financial modeling. In this particular video, I'll speak about the Financial Modeling School, historically what we have done as far as Financial Modeling School is concerned. I'll tell you more about Chandu.org and Pristine, which are the organizations that are running this course. I'll tell you more about the topics covered in both Financial Modeling School as well as the Project Finance Modeling School. I'll tell you about the methodology of teaching, how you can expect to be trained. I'll tell you who's going to teach this, who's going to take the training. If you are interested in joining, I'll tell you more about the cost and the duration and the contact details regarding the course. As far as financial modeling is concerned, Chandu.org and Pristine, we have been running this course for the last 3 years or so. So it's since the last 2 to 3 years that we have been running this course. We have trained in the online fashion, we have trained more than 300 students. In the online plus the classroom training fashion, Pristine would have trained more than 2,000 students as far as financial modeling school is concerned. And as far as the financial modeling part is concerned, essentially as far as the online part is concerned, we have divided into two parts. One is the financial modeling school, which covers valuation for a firm, and the other is the project finance school, which speaks more about project financing. We show you how to build financial models step by step, and the program that we use to create financial models is MS Excel 2007. You can also use 2010 or 2003. I think most of the functionalities can be used as such. But if you are using MS Excel 2007, then you will find it to be the most effective. So what do the old students have to say about the financial modeling school? They found it to be excellent, and the primary length why this person found it to be excellent was the length of the school. So usually the school is around 20 hours of video training, and it's broken into small sections that range between 10 to 20 minutes each, and that fits very well within your attention span. So as we move online, our attention span tends to decrease a bit. So the videos are broken into 10 to 20 minutes logical parts, so that it fits very well in your attention span. And that's why assimilating the full financial model becomes easier. So this person finds it to be an excellent idea, and it's a good way to create financial models. The main reason he's liking it is because of the accessibility. As I told you that the program is online, you can access the program from your home, right, or from your office. You can access it at any point of time that is convenient to you. So that's why, because of the accessibility, because of the online part, it's quite accessible. You don't need to travel. That's why this person has found it to be very useful. So this person finds it to be useful because most of the concepts that are taught can be used across industries. So most of the concepts that are taught are generic in nature. We do take a specific case study, but the concepts are generic and you can apply it at your own work in your own industry. The lessons are available to download. So since they are downloadable, you can view them at any time as per your convenience. You don't need to be online at a specific time. You don't need to travel, and you can download and view them at any time of your convenience. And since it's downloadable, you can view them at any point of time later on in your life as well if you want to review the course. And we do not restrict ourselves. In case you have a specific query, or if you have a specific suggestion as far as inclusion in the model is concerned, we would be receptive to the idea. And in fact, as far as the new financial modeling is concerned, we are introducing a new module. And this new module is on cash flow generation through the indirect method. So that's the new offering that we have. That's a new module that we are creating in the course. So we are very receptive to ideas. At the same point of time, I'd like to tell you that these ideas or these new models will be included only in case we find that there is sufficient or significant interest regarding these models from most of the students. Now more about Chandu.org. Chandu.org, as you know, is a leading blog as far as Excel is concerned. Chandu has trained more than 4,000 students in Excel, VBA and financial modeling, and the blog boasts of around 500 articles at this point of time. It has a very large and vibrant community of Excel users across the world. And the agenda that Chandu has is to make you awesome in Excel. More about Pristine. Pristine is a leader in finance trainings in India and across the world. Pristine is authorized training provider of CFA Institute, which conducts the CFA examination. That's the gold standard in finance trainings at this point of time. Pristine is also authorized by GARP, which conducts the FRM training, and by Premia, which conducts the PRM training. So as far as finance trainings and risk management trainings are concerned, Pristine is a leader. As far as financial modeling is concerned, Pristine has taken trainings for Bank of America, JP Morgan. That's two of the most well-known banks across the world. Pristine has trained people around financial modeling and Excel for Japanese bank like Mizuho Bank, and has trained most of the good B schools across the world as well on financial modeling. That includes National University of Singapore, IIM Calcutta, FMS, etc. So as far as clientele is concerned, Pristine boasts of some of the most marquee names as far as finance is concerned as its clients. More about the financial modeling training. The financial modeling training is an online training. As I told you, it's in the form of recorded videos. You can download the modules and use them as per your convenience. And what it essentially helps you do is create a completely integrated financial model on your own. It's an online training. That means it's delivered online. You can access it from anywhere in your office, in your home, etc. Each student gets their own secure login. You can log in into the web portal. I'll show you how to do that as we move forward. And you need not be online at a specific point of time. You can do it as per your own convenience. And the lessons can be repeated. That means that if you're not able to follow, or if you want to skip a particular section, you can skip and move ahead, or you can repeat some part of the session. We go about doing the session in step-by-step tutorials. That means that you can build the model from scratch, and we cover almost all the practical aspects of financial statements that are needed to create a completely integrated financial model. If you're working in any of these areas, if you're working in investment bank, equity research, business planning or strategy, private equity fund, or let's say commercial bank, or if you're planning a career around this part, then definitely you'll find this to be very useful for a career. Most of the people, at least at the analyst, consultant, or associate level, need to have skills around financial modeling. And Excel is the de facto tool for financial modeling. So in case you were to build a career around any of these parts, then I definitely think you'll find this to be very useful. As far as financial modeling school is concerned, I told you it's basically built into three parts. You have the financial modeling school, the project finance modeling, and if you want to build skills around Excel as well, then you can take the Excel school along with the project finance and the financial modeling school. I'll speak more about the topics covered in the financial modeling school. As far as the topics covered in the financial modeling school are concerned, we essentially help you create a completely integrated financial model. We start by training on how to create an efficient layout for a model. How do you go about inputting the historical statements? How do you go about analyzing the growth drivers from the historical statements? How do you form the growth assumptions? How do you project the complete P&L and the balance sheet? That includes your asset and the depreciation schedule. It includes your debt and the interest schedule. It includes your equity and the retained earnings schedule. Once you have all the schedules in place, how do you go about creating the cash flow statement? So if there is a loop between the interest and the cash component, then how do you build the circular loop into the model? How do you go about analyzing the model through ratios? How do you go about analyzing the model for valuation through the discounted cash flow method? How do you go about valuing the firm through comps? That's the comparatives. How do you go about charting the football field for the model? So essentially everything that you need to create a completely integrated financial model, all the steps are covered. And the model that we would be creating, so for example, that starts from the historical P&L and the balance sheet. So that's the historical P&L and the balance sheet. So you can see that there's an efficient layout that we have in place. The layout maps columns to years. If you go to any sheet in a model, always column E would refer to FY05. So you start with the historical P&L and the balance sheet. So first of all, you create the layout. Then you build the historical P&L and the balance sheet. all the blue font numbers that you see are all historical in nature. Then you go about building the growth drivers that are there. So what has been the historical growth in revenue, prices, costs, volumes, etc. Then you build your future assumptions. Once you have the future assumptions, then you build the revenue, you build the cost, you build the debt, asset, you completely project the balance sheet and the P&L. Then you go about creating the cash flow statement. Once you have the cash flow statement, then you go about the ratio analysis, how to analyze the company using the ratio analysis, how to build the valuation, how to build the comparative valuation. So using the pair group that is there, how to build a football field, and how to build a dashboard using DuPont analysis. We also cover one advanced technique called Monte Carlo simulation. So let's say if some of the variables are non-deterministic in nature, they are probabilistic in nature, then how do you utilize, how do you go about utilizing, let's say, distributions to estimate what those numbers could be, right? What the assumptions could be, and based on that, how do you go about doing a ratio analysis? So this is a complete Monte Carlo simulation that you can build to estimate what kind of ratios would be there. So that's how you go about building a completely integrated financial model. So apart from that, we have smaller case studies. So for example, we have a case study around equated monthly installments. We have a case study around how to go about doing custom formatting in Excel. We have case studies around deferred taxes, depreciation. We have case studies around using macros to build custom charts, right? How do you go about breaking circular references through macros? Apart from that, we have a small case study on credit risk that you can use. It uses advanced concepts on using arrays as well as lookup formulas. How you use those to build models. We have small case studies around free cash flow to the firm and equity. And as you can see, we have two actual companies, how you can create models for them. So one of those companies is LinkedIn. That's a social networking site that came up with an IPO. And apart from that, there's Coal India Limited. That's one of the largest coal manufacturing or explorer in India at this point of time. So we have bonus tutorials around that as well. Then there's the complete valuation. So all the lessons are available to you at your own. You can go through these lessons at your own pace. Everything is downloadable. So for example, let's say if you want to go to the historical P&L, you can see the video, you can download the video, you can download all the Excel templates that are there. So all the instructions are given. So what exactly is covered in this particular session, you can view the video online. You can download the empty Excel template and the filled Excel template, and whatever queries etc. you have, you can use the forums to raise your queries and we would answer those queries. So for each of these lessons, you can do these steps. So for example, you can just click and you can just view, or you can completely download the full material if you want to, right? You can download the lesson and you can download the Excel templates if you wish to. And whatever doubts you have, you can raise them on the forums. So this video is explaining the historical P&L, and then we would go about creating the completely integrated financial model. So what you would also be given is you will be given empty Excel templates at each stage so that you don't go about wasting your time, and you can link and create the completely integrated financial model. So that is what is covered as far as topics are concerned in financial modeling in Excel. We are also introducing a new module on cash flow modeling, where we would be using the historical P&L and the balance sheet to create the cash flow statement through the indirect method. So we would be building we would be using the historical balance sheet, and then we would be categorizing those into operating, investing, and financing activities. Essentially, your cash is the difference between the assets and liabilities. So we would build that, and then we would build the complete cash flow statement. So we would do it for one of these companies, and we would also give you 10 sample exercise templates that you can use to build the completely integrated financial model. And these have been chosen from across the industries and across the world. So for example, we have companies that are listed in US, we have internet companies, we have manufacturing companies, we have retail companies that are listed across the world. So Alibaba is listed in China. So we help you sort of learn through all these models. So all the Excel templates would be given to you, and what you need to do is go step by step and create the model on your own. And along with it, one video template, how to go about doing it, would also be given, so that it guides you on what you need to do to create the completely integrated, to create the cash flow model. So this module is being introduced from 15th of May. So from 15th of May, you would get access, from 15th of May 2012, you would get access to this particular module as well if you are registering for the Financial Modeling School. In the next tutorial, I'll speak about the Project Finance Modeling School. Yeah. So as far as the topics for Project Finance Modeling are concerned, we essentially cover the Project Finance Modeling through a case study on a real estate commercial deal. So essentially, we take a real estate commercial deal, a commercial complex, as a case study, and we build a completely integrated financial model for the commercial complex. So how do you go about doing it? How to build the assumptions? How to build the area parameters? How to build the EPC cost and the phasing of the EPC cost? How do you finance the project through debt and equity? Right. So if you're taking debt, then what should be the interest component? What should be the interest during construction? And if you're introducing equity, then how do you maintain a debt equity ratio? Then once you have the financing and the capital expenditure schedule in place, how do you go about projecting the income and the expenditures? How do you project the net operating income? How do you project the expenditures? How to build the complete financial statements? And how do you go about valuing and analyzing the project? So valuing and analysis, we both do a discounted cash flow method. And apart from that, we also use the net operating income to value the project. So everything is done from scratch, and you go about doing it step by step. Apart from that, we also help you understand smaller nuances and concepts in project finance model through smaller models. So essentially, how do you go about, let's say, using circular references to build interest during construction? How do you model depreciation and deferred taxes? And if you have deferred taxes, how do you build loss carried forward? Apart from that, if there are multiple parties involved in the project, so for example, if it's a joint venture between, let's say, a developer and, let's say, an investor, then how are the cashes distributed? How are they tranched? How does the developer make sure that their interest is protected and they are given sufficient upside? How does the investor protect their downside? And how do you go about modeling delays? So obviously, if you want to model delays, how do you use the date functions to model delays? And if you want to build a cash flow tranching and, let's say, debt service account, how do you go about doing it? So it's a completely hands-on course, and it's a comprehensive course on all the aspects related to project finance modeling. And as far as the basic concepts are concerned, they are quite generic in nature, and you can pretty much use them in any industry. If you're working, let's say, if you're working in the oil and gas, if you're working in the real estate industry, or for that matter, if you're working in, let's say, roads, if you're working in any infra related industry, let's say if you're working in power, or for that matter, anything that requires project financing, it's all included. So the basic concepts still remain the same. So if you were to just glance through the course content essentially has a case study on project finance. As I told you, the case study utilizes a real estate commercial project as the case. So initially, we introduced to you the profit and loss, what's basically the profit and loss balance sheet and the cash flow statement. Then we introduce the basics of Excel that you need for project finance modeling. Then we introduce what is project finance modeling, what is the specific nuance of project finance, and how is it different from a normal valuation model? How do you go about building the area, the engineering procurement, the construction cost? How do you go about building the interest during construction? How circular reference is used for that? Apart from that, how do you build the capital expenditure schedule? How can you use macros for financial modeling? So these are advanced concepts around financial modeling, how you can use macros for financial modeling. Then how to use some of the advanced Excel features like index match, SUMIF, to model delays. Then we also introduced to you another model around credit risk modeling that uses array functions in Excel. Apart from that, it also utilizes the lookup functions. Then how do you go about building the debt schedule, the debt repayment schedule, the revenue schedule, the cost schedule? Then we have sessions on deferred taxes and depreciation models. Then how do you go about building the asset schedule, the operational cost, P&L, etc. Apart from that, we have a bonus session on a real company modeling. That's more related to valuation modeling for LinkedIn. Then we go about creating the equity, balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. And then we go about analyzing that for valuation and analyzing the net operating income. So essentially, we analyze net operating income and the capitalization rate for valuation. Apart from that, we have advanced sessions around Monte Carlo simulation and creating the dashboard for project finance model. Now, if I were to just run you through the model, you start with the assumptions. So as far as the assumptions are concerned, they are related to the date functions. So as far as the assumptions, then we have the area assumptions, the EPC cost assumptions, etc. Then we build the area, we build the engineering procurement, the construction cost, we build the complete project cost, the capital expenditure schedule, the funding schedule. Then we analyze all these schedules using the SUMIF function, if you can see in the formula bar. Then we build the debt schedule, the operational revenue, expenditure, asset, equity. Then we project the complete P&L, balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. And then we go about analyzing this for valuation and utilizing the capitalization rate for valuation. Apart from that, we have also built Monte Carlo simulation on the same model in a next version. Apart from that, we have a complete scenario analysis built for you, right? So that's what we do as far as the project finance modeling is concerned. Now, going forward, from 15th of May, we are again introducing the cash flow modeling, also in the project finance modeling school. So if you are registered for the financial modeling school, you'll also get access to the module on modeling cash for listed companies using the indirect method. So how do you go about learning? Essentially, when you want to sign up, when you're ready to sign up, you can make the payment. Once you make the payment, you are registered for the course. You would get a username and a password. So what you need to do is use your username and password to log into the course. So that's your username and password. You log into the course. So once you're logged into the course, you get access to week-wise material, and that includes the video, the downloadable video, the Excel templates, as well as the notes, presentations, etc. So once you have logged in, depending on what course you're registered in, if you're registered for all the three courses, the financial modeling, project finance, and the Excel school, you'll be given an access to all the three schools. If you're registered for some of these courses, you'll get an access to that course. So let's say if you're registered for the financial model school, you would get access to the presentation, the case study, the video materials. That's a video material, Excel templates, and the downloadable video material. So for example, let's say you want to go to week 2, you want to access the historical profit and loss account. So what you would essentially get is the details about that particular part of the course, the video that you can view online. Apart from that, the Excel templates, your filled Excel template and the unfilled Excel template. And apart from that, you can download the video tutorial as well. If you have any doubts, you can raise them on the forum, and within reasonable amount of time, you would be given a solution or an answer to your question, right? So you can access your video tutorials as well as your presentation, Excel templates, etc. If you have any questions or doubts, you can raise them on the forums, and we would be happy to answer whatever questions you have. You would get access to your homework problems, your class projects, etc. if you want to sharpen your skills. So what you essentially get is all the video tutorials that are broken into 10 to 20 minutes bite-sized videos that you can easily view and understand. Apart from that, Excel templates, both filled as well as unfilled, that help you create the integrated financial model. The videos are in the form of screencasts. Apart from that, you also get access to the posts, so you can raise your doubts and you'll get your solutions. You'll also get access to the presentations, the detailed notes, as well as the case studies. So that's what you get along with the course. So essentially the course is primarily divided into smaller short cases that you can utilize to understand smaller concepts and a completely integrated valuation model. So this is a larger integrated financial model that runs as a series across the posts. So it gives you ample time, and it's an exhaustive course to understand all the concepts. Now, if you complete the financial modeling course, assuming you have followed the program and you have practiced enough, that's apart from the 20 hours of video tutorials, I expect that you at least input 5 times this amount. That means that you input another 100 hours for practice. You should be able to create a completely integrated financial model on your own. You should understand what financial statements are and how do you go about analyzing financial statements. You should understand the complete process of valuation, as well as how does the company look at capital raising, and once you complete the course, you'd also get a certificate of participation. We also have an optional certificate of excellence as well, and if you wish to apply for the same, you can apply for the same, and we'll tell you the procedure for the same. Now, as far as the instructor for the course is concerned, I, Paramdeep, would be taking this course. I have been working as a founder director of Pristine, which is the largest training provider as far as financial modeling is concerned, for the last 4 years. And I have taken these trainings for a list of marquee clients like JP Morgan, Bank of America, Mizuho Bank, IIM Calcutta, FMS, etc. Apart from that, prior to this, I was working as an investment banker with the Standard Chartered Capital Markets. Prior to that, I was working as a consultant with Accenture Management Consulting. I did my MBA from IIM Indore, and I did my engineering in mathematics and computing from IIT Delhi. I have a total work experience of around 12 years to sort of substantiate on the learning that you would be doing. As far as the financial modeling course is concerned, it's essentially 10 weeks plus 1 week of learning. This 1 week additional learning would be on the additional module that's on cash flow modeling. So you are given an access to the course for 6 months, where you can raise your doubts, you can download the material, the Excel templates, etc. And apart from that, all the Excel templates, the videos, etc. are downloadable, so you get to keep them for your lifetime. Similarly, as far as the project finance modeling school is concerned, it's basically 11 plus 1 weeks of active learning. Each week, you would get approximately 2 hours of recorded videos to go through. And as I told you, you should, apart from the 2 hours of videos, you should input at least 5 times that amount on your own for practice as well. Again, 6 months of online membership is given. And all the videos, Excel templates, etc. are downloadable. You can download them and keep them for life. As far as the course fee is concerned, the fee for the program is $297 if you are buying just the financial modeling school or just the project finance school. In case you want to learn more about Excel as well, then you can buy a combo, and the combo would cost you $397. If you're buying the project finance school and you want to buy the Excel school along with it, that's again $397. If you're buying both the financial modeling and the project finance school, then you get then instead of almost $600, you just need to pay $447. And if you want to buy the Excel school along with it, you just need to pay $547. So that's like a complete learning, learning on Excel, financial modeling, and project finance. So you can register for it any point of time. So if you are an India student, then if you're just buying the project finance or the financial modeling school, you need to pay 12,000 rupees. That's Indian rupees. If you want to do the Excel school along with it, you need to pay 16,000 rupees. In case you want to buy both of them, you should pay 18,000 rupees. And in case you want to buy all three, you need to pay 22,000 rupees for the complete exhaustive training. The training is open now. If you want to register for the same, you can register for the same right now. That's what my suggestion is, and start learning. The module on cash flow modeling should be available around 15th of May. So if you want to pay for the course, you can just visit chandu.org/WP/financial modeling to join the course. And if you have any questions or doubts, feel free to write an email to me on paramdeep@edupristine.com. If you have any admin related queries, feel free to call Chandu as well. So Chandu's phone number is listed out here. If you want to call me for any doubts or queries regarding financial modeling or the process of financial modeling, feel free to give me a call on +91 989 298 0608. I'd be happy to speak to you and address whatever queries you have. And I look forward to seeing you in the financial modeling of the Project Finance School. I wish you luck for your career ahead. If you're looking for a career around investment banking, equity research, banking, commercial banking, or strategy, I do hope that you would find the Project Finance or the Financial Modeling School to be useful for your purpose. Feel free to get back to me and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you and bye-bye.